And we've been down in Florida for the last few months, so it's been hot and humid and humid. So that's busting rust and cleaning and corrosion prevention on your Airstream. These rails coming out of here and those rails right there, all those should be lubricated with silicone spray. And right back here, right in this arm, you have a hole, and that should hold white lithium grease. Thankfully, there's a product out there that can alleviate all your fears for propane, and that's a GasStop. This particular kit comes from Air Gear. She carried this a long way, so I'm anxious to see what she's bringing me.
Do you want to guess?
Do I want to guess?
Yeah.
Have we had it since Trail?
No, it's hard to find.
It's hard to find.
We've looked for it.
Hey everyone, in this video there's going to be a giveaway at the end, so make sure you stay tuned and figure out all the details on how to win. I've got a little bit of rust spots here, here, and on the other side of that chain. Really simple. I got a bristle brush here, get some of the surface rust off. And we've been down in Florida for the last few months, so it's been hot and humid and humid. Got a little bit under here. Not uncommon on these areas where the metal on metal and where I've had my proven lock on the hitch here. Not a big deal. So I use a little Scotch pad or one of these bristle brushes to get most of it off. This is not a final job here. This is an ongoing project, but it's going to be everywhere. Under your axles on this part of the rig, all through here, all around this jack typically, and all on your axles. So scrape the rust off, get the best you can, and just keep maintaining it. Meaning spray a little bit when you can, get the corrosion off, clean it when you can, keep the things lubricated, and you can't go wrong. But grab some painter's tape here and my paint. So here on the A-frame, the frame itself, the axles, your Dexter axles in the rear frame, so your rear bumper, those are problematic areas. Same things on your car. Like get under your car and look around, you'll see a lot of rust too. So I just grabbed some painter's tape and I tape up some areas. I'm going to pull this cover off here so I don't get it sprayed, but you can pull these bolts out, not while the trailer is sitting like it is now, because your jack will fall, like the trailer will fall, and I've seen somebody do that. They started taking these 3 bolts out and took the last one out, and the trailer fell and hit the ground. They're like, what the hell happened? I'm like, bro, I couldn't believe they did that, but I've seen it. But I'll tape up a little area here, and I'll spray paint this. And I just use standard flat black Rustoleum paint from Lowe's, Home Depot, wherever you get it. Just keep the things touched up as they need it. Doing the rust prevention is something that's, it's not that difficult. It just takes some time. Like I go around the trailer every few months and scratch off the rust with my bristle brush or a scratch pad, like I call them scratch pads, but they're rough green, like a sponge, the green part of a two-sided sponge, but it's just the green pads, scratch pads, scuff pads. I'm not sure what they're called, but I just go through and do that and then tape everything off and spray it up, or just spray. Like underneath, I don't really care if some overspray happens on the underneath belly. That's not a big deal to me. Some people would be very particular about that. I'm particular about a lot of things, but that little overspray underneath the trailer is not that big a deal. It's a good thing to do. And again, like I say, your vehicle, if you climb underneath your vehicle, it looks the same. It's surface rust. It's not that big a deal unless it's gone untreated for many, many, many years. So scuff it up, scratch it off, sand it down is really what you're doing, sanding down the corrosion and then spray painting over it with some quality paint. So I get the Rustoleum from Lowe's and Home Depot, this flat black, but it's a primer and a paint at the same time, and it's good quality stuff. So that's what I use on the trailer, and I'll show you some. I got underneath the back axle. So both of your axles go underneath your Dexter axles, and your stabilizing jacks and your front nose jack, that steel part, and then underneath your bumper. But you really got to get under the rig to inspect and see everything. And if you saw, you'll see in the video, I use my portable creeper, my creeper that I use, but I also have my porch mat here, my camping mat that I use, because it spreads out pretty wide and I can get under there pretty easy. So that's busting rust and cleaning and corrosion prevention on your Airstream. It's something that needs to be done, particularly if you live in a moist environment like down south. We're in Florida right now. And I stored my trailer all last summer in South Carolina while we were hiking the Appalachian Trail. So it just sat there in a humid, hot environment for 5 months while we weren't using it. Check underneath your step also. So pull your step down and the rails that go underneath your step. And I found a hornet's nest underneath mine. It's nothing in there, thankfully, that they've all gone. But they did build a nest in there. And inside, so it's in the belly of the trailer. So I can see it through the little crack where the step goes in and out. I can see it through that crack. And so it's some rust underneath there typically. And if you have a 2020 model Airstream and older, 2019, 2018, so on and so forth, going back in time, and you still have the hardwood or plywood flooring and not the laminate flooring, odds are your flooring right there where that step is could be deteriorating some, and it could have issues. So it may be worth an inspection there. So if you stepped on right in your doorway and it's kind of spongy, it may be something you need to look into and get replaced, because typically those things are problematic. It's part of the corrosion game, and depending on where you travel and things like that. And when I wash the trailer, I always get underneath and spray off the landing gear, call it. So all of my axles, all the things underneath, I spray all that stuff out too, because that's road salt. And down here, I'm in Florida right now again, so the sea air, the salt air causes corrosion underneath there as well. But that's a problem. So keep your rig clean, keep your rig lubricated, and keep it maintained, and it will last you a long, long time. Something I did not address on my awning video a couple weeks ago, where I adjusted the awning moving it one way or the other, is these struts. So if you have the powered awning, International, Globetrotter, Classic, Pottery Barn, those models all have a powered awning. Many people have issues with them because they don't lubricate them. And really the lubrication goes for any of the non-powered ones as well. But what I want to get at is these rails coming out of here and those rails right there, at least this side of it, the side closest to the rig right here, not this end right here. This end right here is not, but the part that goes inside the other one. All those should be lubricated with silicone spray. And right back here, right in this arm, you have a hole, and that should hold white lithium grease. So I'm going to lubricate mine real quick and you can see what it looks like. So I spray it on a paper towel and wipe it down. I don't want to spray up onto it because it might get on the awning itself, and that's not what I want on the awning. Spray it on a paper towel and just wipe it down. You can do the same on the other arm. And now I'm going to do the lithium grease. And it has a straw so you can put it in a little hole. Once I get them greased, I run it in and out a few times, call it a day. You can find the same information on the ZipDee website. I don't recall specifically the frequency they say do it. I do mine at the beginning of every month. Today is April 1st, so I'm lubricating my awning and all of the other things on my trailer today because it's my monthly chore. One other thing I didn't really talk about was these struts again. So if your awning is coming in crooked over and over and over again, even if you've aligned it, things like that, these struts could be bad. So that may be something you need to check and have a technician check out because it could be the struts being the problem. And they're pretty easily replaced. So that may be something you want to check out. In case you weren't aware, we have stickers. We have our own Airstream sticker and Piper stickers. If you're a member of our Patreon, you can get one of these. Or if you meet us in a park, we'll give you some too. Have you ever wondered what would happen if you got into an accident and severed a propane line or a propane tank had a malfunction of some sort? Thankfully, there's a product out there that can alleviate all your fears for propane, and that's a GasStop. This particular kit comes from Air Gear, and it's a wonderful setup. The hoses and all the things are perfect fit for an Airstream RV. Many of your propane pigtails, or the lines that go from the regulator out to your propane tank, are straight on. And because the Airstream has such a tight fitting here, it's very difficult to get anything else to fit in here. So this setup from Air Gear with this 90-degree fitting here makes putting one of these on here a breeze. I'm going to go through step by step with the install guide from Air Gear on how to properly install this. It shows you right away what I was talking about earlier. The standard pigtails won't work, but what they have provided works great. So step one is to remove the propane tank. You will need a set of tools to accomplish this task. You have a 9/16 inch wrench, which will help you take off your existing lines, and you need a 5/8 inch wrench and a 7/16 inch wrench to install this new system. Everything else you need comes included in the kit. Step number 2, make sure both propane tanks are shut off. Step number 3, remove the large green knob from the tank. Step number 4 is to remove the existing propane tank pigtail. And this is accomplished using your 9/16 inch wrench here to remove the pigtail. And it's on there pretty tight, so just know that. You also may find this easier just to remove the tank pigtail removed. Step number 5, find the small brass fitting and install it. So we got to put some Teflon tape on here. Wrap it once or twice with Teflon tape. Then using a 5/8 wrench, tighten it the rest of the way down. Next step is getting your new pigtail, and you screw this one in. This one does not need tape. So hand tight, and then a 7/16 inch wrench, and I turn it about an 1/8 to a 1/4 turn more. So now that's in there nice and tight, and now we're ready to put that on the tank. Next step is repeat that on the other side. All right, the next step is to take the GasStop product itself, attach it to the end of the hose, and then attach that part to the tank. Do that on both sides. And the neat thing is all these pieces are somewhat adjustable, even though this part's tight, so you can always have your gauge pointed up. So the next step is to open one tank at a time. The next step is to prime the line in accordance with the instruction manual. So basically that consists of pressing this down 4 to 5 times. The needle should be in the yellow or green area. This one is in the yellow area. Checking for leaks, you take your little spray bottle, which is included in this kit, and you spray it on everywhere where you connected a line. And what I'm looking for is tiny bubbles. And you need to look from all sides to make sure there's no tiny bubble leaks, because they'll pop and continue to flow, but you need to look all the way around this whole thing, because typically a leak doesn't come from the whole ring, it comes from part of the ring. So I don't see any bubbles happening on that side, so now let's open and test the other side. Fully open, primed, it is in the yellow, so let's check that side, spraying it down. And I don't see any leaks on that side either. So now the GasStops are fully engaged and installed. Now the next step is to reinstall your tank cover, lock everything down. Just one item of note, when you're putting your tank back on, you may have to adjust the tanks so the nozzle point's a little bit outboard to get these to fit. Even though with the 90 degree is still a very tight fitting in here. So if you notice, I have both these kind of pointed out just a little bit. So the tank goes back on easier. Blair has brought me back a surprise. So she rode her bicycle halfway across town to find some things, new shoes and such. And then she came back here with a surprise. She carried this a long way, so I'm anxious to see what she's bringing me.
Do you want to guess?
Do I want to guess?
Yeah.
Or no? I can guess. Give me a category though.
Well, it's not as cold as it was before.
So a beverage? It's a beverage?
It's a beverage.
Have I had it before?
Yes.
Where?
On trail. You can't see your face.
Have we had it since trail?
No, it's hard to find.
It's hard to find.
We've looked for it.
Is it the 1900 and something?
1911.
Boom!
Cider.
Where was we had them on trail? Where?
It was right before the 400-mile mark. It was half a mile walk up the street to the hostel.
Taking a quick detour.
0.4 for a burger and a resupply.
That's right. And it's all uphill. How was your resupply?
Good. I'm resupplied
In full?
for 2 days, and I'm full of chicken fingers and fries.
And some
And
ciders?
and a beer and a half. Some cider. It was so good.
It was good.
Yeah. Town food and a beer and a half sound really great until you have to hike up a mountain afterwards.
Yeah.
Ugh,
You got a full belly?
a full belly.
Cheers to our 13 Adventures koozie. Where's yours?
We have our driver cruise koozie.
Oh, this is our wedding koozie.
It's real good.
I could drink a bunch of those.
I almost got 2. I'm at a loss of what that hostel was, and I know everything.
You know everything. You're slacking, Blair.
I know it was right before 400, though. I know what shelter we stayed in that night, though.
I do too.
It'll comfortable.
Hey, concerning the giveaway, I have this set of chalks here. You can see my review of these chalks on our Amazon page and on our YouTube channel. They're a set of TGBox chalks, and they're leveling chalks is really what they are. I say chalks, but they're leveling blocks. And they look like I call them a crescent moon type. They look like a half. You can do from 1 inch up to about 3 inches of leveling. So you put them underneath your tires, drive up on them or back up on them and level out your trailer. But I'm willing to send you this free gift in the mail. All you have to do is go to our website, 13adventures.com, click on the contact us link at the very top, go down, type in your name, type in your email address. Please make sure you spell your email correctly. And then type in TGBox giveaway in the subject line, and we will pick a winner. We have 72 hours. So from the time the video comes out on Sunday morning at 8, 72 hours later at 8 a.m. on that morning, Eastern Standard Time, we will pick a winner and we will announce it via our social media channels. If you are the winner, I will reach back out to you via email and I will get your shipping address and we will mail these to you. Good luck, everyone. Thank you for making us a part of your day as always. Happy adventures, everyone.